Hey everyone, welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're looking at an absolutely massive paradigm shift in the world of artificial intelligence. We're moving away from the days of simple text generation, where you ask a question and just get an answer, into a totally new era, an era of autonomous, delegated work systems. We are talking about AI that doesn't just talk to you, but actually does the work for you. It really begs this provocative question, are we finally moving past the prompt box? Think about the old way we've been using AI. You know the drill. You type a prompt, you get an output, you realize it's kind of wrong, and then you spend 20 minutes manually tweaking it. But the updates we are looking at today signal the arrival of the incoming era, a world where AI acts as a coordinated team that executes multi-step workflows entirely in the background. Okay, let's dive right into this. We'll be breaking down the shift to AI agents, MiniMax's self-improving teams, RunClaw's delegated workflows, unified workspaces from Google and OpenAI, and finally, Meta's Muse Spark. Part 1. The shift to AI agents, moving from generation to delegation. Over the past few weeks, a wave of announcements has made it abundantly clear. The industry is totally over chatbots. The goalposts have definitely moved toward AI systems that can independently refine their own performance. In the old world, you'd type a prompt, get an output, and manually fix it. But in the new world, you just set a goal. That's it. From there, persistent background agents coordinate with each other and execute the whole task. The days of staring at a blinking text cursor are making way for AI that acts like a highly capable colleague, just working tirelessly behind the scenes. Section 2, MiniMax and their self-improving AI teams. The M2.7 open source release. So, MiniMax actually just open-sourced the weights for their M2.7 model on Hugging Face, and it runs on this highly efficient mixture of experts setup that saves a massive amount of compute. But the real kicker here is that it's built explicitly for what they call agent teams. This means it's designed for serious software engineering and office work by acting as a coordinated unit. This isn't an AI that just spits out an isolated snippet of code. It can actively split up work, grab external tools, and handle massive tasks from start to finish. Now, what's really interesting about these numbers is just how heavy M2.7 is punching. On SW Pro, which mimics real-world engineering, it scores 56.22%, putting it right near GPT 5.3 Codex. On Vibe Pro, it hits 55.6%, pushing it right up against Opus 4.6. It also totally crushes SW Multilingual with 76.5%. It even scores 57% on Terminal Bench 2 and nearly 40% on NL2 Repo, which basically proves it can understand entire complex code bases, not just single files. To see what that means in practice, think of M2.7 as an actual systems engineer. During some live production issues, it literally jumped in, connected monitoring spikes to deployment timelines, analyzed server traces, and even spotted missing index migration files. By stepping in and actively stopping the damage, it drastically cut recovery times to under 3 minutes. I mean, that is the literal definition of autonomous delegation in action. But here is the absolute wildest part. Its self-evolution setup. MiniMax let M2.7 run over 100 autonomous rounds just to improve its own programming performance. It evaluated its own failures, planned out modifications, ran evaluations, and then either kept or rolled back the changes. All on its own. It tuned its temperature settings and added loop detection to stop itself from getting trapped. This self-improvement process led to a staggering 30% performance boost. Crazy, right? It's so effective that M2.7 now actually handles 30 to 50% of MiniMax's own internal reinforcement learning workflows. When they tested it on MLE Benchite, which is this brutal 24-hour marathon of machine learning competitions, M2.7 tied Gemini 3.1 with a 66.6% medal rate, sitting just underneath absolute giants like GPT 5.4 and Opus 4.6. 1495. That is its GDP Vala Elo score, making it the highest-ranked open-source model currently available for professional office work. And on tasks like reading complex earnings calls to independently build out PowerPoint decks, it maintained a 97% skill compliance rate on the MMClaw benchmark. It just stays on task, no matter how ridiculously long the workflow gets. Moving on to Section 3, RunClaw, Delegated Chat Workflows, and the Invisible Assistant. Let's shift gears a bit and look at Runnable's RunClaw, because this really highlights how the AI tool race is rapidly turning into an AI agent race. Imagine this. Instead of opening a totally separate app, dealing with a dozen browser tabs, or spinning up servers, you just message RunClaw inside Slack, Telegram, or Discord, exactly like you would a human team member. It lives where you already work, taking your requests and delegating tasks in the background as your invisible assistant.
And man, the traction they are seeing is undeniable. Runnable just crossed $2 million in annual recurring revenue, and they're shipping updates daily. The suite of tasks it can execute is massive. It goes way past simple generation, it handles live deployments with databases, integrates Stripe payments, and connects custom domains. You basically tell it what you need in a chat, and it builds an entire business infrastructure for you. Let's move to section 4 and see how this builds. Unified Workspaces, featuring Google Mixboard and OpenAI's new app. So as these background agents get smarter, the major players realize they need entirely new environments to house them. Take Google's Mixboard, for example. It is evolving into a collaborative, hybrid generative canvas, kind of like Miro, but heavily powered by AI. Utilizing their Stitch tool infrastructure, it now allows for a full voice mode. You can verbally brainstorm, control the board, rearrange elements, and generate images without ever touching a keyboard. Then, it automatically converts all of that chaotic creativity into a cleanly structured PDF document. We might actually see a full reveal of this at Google I/O on May 19th and 20th.
Meanwhile, OpenAI is rumored to be building a unified Codex app that merges ChatGPT, the Atlas browser, and coding tools into one single platform. A critical piece of this puzzle is the heartbeat system. This allows for persistent network connections, meaning the background agents stay active. Much like Anthropic's Conway system, it means the AI can manage long-running multi-step workflows and just check in with you periodically when it actually needs approval. A huge part of this unified app is the new Scratchpad feature, which reduces workflow friction by keeping everything in one central place. You can trigger multiple Codex tasks to run completely in parallel. Oh, and there is also some heavy speculation going around, fueled by OpenAI employees posting snowflake emojis, that this new workspace could launch alongside a massive new GPT 5.5 model codenamed Glacier.
Finally, Section 5, Meta's Muse Spark, the deep thinker.
Straight out of Meta's superintelligence labs comes a tool built specifically for specialized heavy-duty reasoning. The absolute crucial point here is that Muse Spark is natively multimodal. They didn't just build a text model and then bolt image recognition onto it later. No, they spent 9 months rebuilding the pre-training stock from scratch to process text and images as one unified stream of data. Because of this architectural overhaul, Muse Spark is reportedly 10 times more compute efficient than Llama 4 Maverick. And when you look at the stats, its dominance in specialized fields is mind-blowing. On ScreenSpot Pro identifying UI elements, it hits an 84.1. On Humanities Last Exam, it scores 58.4, and on Frontier Science Research, it reaches 38.3. But the craziest parts? On HealthBench Hard, which is a dataset curated by over 1,000 physicians, it scores a 42.8, completely obliterating Opus and Gemini. Now, it does have one main weakness right now: abstract reasoning. On ARGI2, it only scores 42.5, while its competitors sit comfortably above 76. But Meta actually makes up for this with a really fascinating feature called contemplating mode. Instead of forcing one model to think in one long, slow, sequential chain, Muse Spark fires up multiple agents that run parallel reasoning. It compresses its thoughts to use fewer tokens, refines the answers simultaneously, and then combines them into one highly accurate final output without causing massive latency delays. So what does all of this mean? Well, these updates completely hit the nail on the head regarding the core thesis of today's explainer. Tools are starting to move past simple generation and into real delegated work. The era of the simple chatbot is ending, folks. Whether it's MiniMax's self-improving teams, Runnable's embedded agents, unified workspaces from Google and OpenAI, or Meta's multimodal parallel thinkers, the future is all about delegated work. You are no longer just the operator. You are stepping into the role of manager. Which leaves us with this final, really important question. How will you manage your own digital agent team? The tools to automate your workflows, debug your code, and build your entire digital infrastructure, they aren't just concepts anymore. They are actively being deployed right now. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning, keep organizing your digital life, and I'll catch you in the next one.